Now let's talk about long-term growth for your business. One thing that you need to understand is incremental progress is key. So, a lot of people will basically try and make $1 million in their first year online. That's not going to happen, and it's definitely not going to happen if that's what your goal is. That goal is too unrealistic, and it's going to do you more harm than good. Is it possible to make $1 million in a year? Sure, it's definitely possible, but you're not going to achieve it if you have the wrong kind of. We talked about goal setting before. If you have the wrong kind of goals, you're not going to achieve it. So what you need to do is focus on incremental progress. Okay, so slowly but surely improve. You know what you need to do now. The core fundamentals, right? Traffic conversion. So slowly improve on those. Slowly improve your conversion. Slowly improve your traffic. Okay. Everyone needs to start somewhere. You don't start at the $1 million mark. You start from zero. So everyone needs to start somewhere. But eventually, progress is going to happen, and you're going to start to see some results. And incremental progress, the increments will get bigger and bigger. Okay, so you might make $5,000 a month, and you might make $550 a month, and you might make $6,000 a month. And then the next month you might make $10,000. The increments get bigger and bigger. But what you need to do is just work on your progress and slowly improve on what is working at the moment. So that is the core fundamentals. So slowly improve on your traffic and your conversions, your traffic generation methods. Start implementing new methods and stuff like that. So. And by the way, we're going to get into all that kind of specific stuff later on in the course, but I just want to give you some mindset principles, I guess you could call them, because these are a few things that people trip up on and actually cause them to fail. Your time is absolutely vital. I don't think I need to explain to you just how important your time is. And unfortunately, too many of us waste our time doing nothing and simply just not being productive. You will be absolutely surprised at how much you can get done if you just focus and apply yourself. 24 hours in the day, you'll be surprised at how much you can get done in a day's work. It's almost, I think we almost sell ourselves short on what we can actually achieve, but you can achieve a lot of things. So it's very, very important that you manage your time effectively, and you need to establish your commitment. Okay, this is key. You really need to make a commitment that you're going to get stuff done. For me personally, when I work the most effective is when I make a commitment and say, okay, I'm going to use from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock or whatever, I'm going to focus on this particular task, and I'm getting it done, and that's it, and that's all I do. I just sit there and I work, and then it's done, and then you feel good because you've achieved something. You've stuck to a goal that you've said, and you've actually got the work, and now you don't have to do the work anymore because it's done. So plan out specific times per day to work on your business. So sit there and actually do that. Maybe it's in the mornings, maybe it's after work, or after the kids get back from school or something like that, or maybe it's while they're at school. Just block out a certain amount of time and say, okay, from 10 to 11 or 10 to 12, I am just purely going to generate traffic. I'm only going to work on providing traffic. I'm only going to work on, let's say, writing articles, okay, so which is a form of traffic generation. So from 10 to 12, all I'm going to do is write as many articles as I can, and then that's what you do. And then the full, that time, that's all you're doing. Okay, so know what tasks that are most important for your business. Okay, so this comes back down to the core fundamentals, and this is what the whole guru overwhelm thing is sort of really about. There's all these guys out there putting out stuff and that you don't need, you don't need to use at all. And people go out and they buy all these stupid courses, and then they go through this stuff, and they're just wasting their time on stuff that isn't going to help their business at all. So you need to know what's actually important for your business, and that's traffic and conversions. So an extension to that is know what tasks take up a lot of time. Okay, so find out what's the most important thing to your business, and find out what takes the most important find out what takes up the most time. Then you can prioritize the most important tasks. Okay, so obviously the things that are most important you need to spend time on. The things that are least important you need to spend less time on. So then plan out time each day to complete those tasks. So now you can have a priority list of what definitely needs to get done every day, and then what you can spend a little bit of time each day on. So when you know exactly what's important and what the most time-consuming tasks are, you can create a structured plan for your day to work on those things. Okay. Now, work in blocks of time. I find this to be very, very effective when it's kind of like that commitment thing. You say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to work in this amount of time. I'm just going to go flat out, 100%, balls to the wall, just get things done. Instead of sort of, getting up in the day and saying, okay, I got a big day ahead of me, and you sort of just become, you start to procrastinate and stuff like that. So again, you need to get specific with everything, because that's how you get results. You get specific. So work in small, short bursts to get more things done. Take regular breaks to keep you fresh. Okay, you want to keep fresh. So, maybe you're recording videos, for example. I take a break after every video I record. Usually it's just a couple, a 2-minute break. But 2 to 5 minute break. Get up, have a glass of water. Go for a quick walk around the house or something like that, just to stretch my legs and keep fresh, and then I come back and then go all out again. So definitely want to keep fresh, because it will allow you to work longer. Break down tasks into small chunks. People have almost an intimidation of the amount of work that they do, because there's so much of it. What you want to do is break it into small tasks and just focus on the small chunks. Okay, so let's just say you're writing a 40-page ebook. Break that down into the chapters, then break it down in even further. So chapter 1, you're going to write the first 5 pages of chapter 1. That's all you're going to worry about. You're not going to worry about the 10 other chapters. You're not going to worry about all the other pages. What you're going to worry about is the first 5 pages of chapter 1. That's all you're going to do. And then what you do is set aside a block of time, and then you work full on, and you get those 5 pages done. That's how you get things done. That's how you you beat procrastination, and you actually become very, very productive. Now, I recommend, if you're just starting out, you work in 30-minute blocks at 100%. Okay, so work in 30-minute blocks. Then take a break, 5-10 minute break, and then get back to it. Okay, you don't want to work obviously like big, massive 14-hour days with only 5-minute breaks. Have a break, have like an hour break every now and then and stuff like that. But work in 30-minute blocks where you just go 100%. And what you will find is you will actually get a lot of your work done. So, maybe let's just say it takes you about 1 week to write like an ebook. If you'd use this method, you will find that you could actually get that ebook done in like a few days. So you're actually freeing up more of your time. It's just because you're managing your time and you're managing your workload more effectively. So you're sort of going really hard, then having a little break, recharge your batteries, refresh, and then go again. So this is definitely an effective system. This is what I use to sort of create my products and to do my work. So I highly recommend that you do this. Again, one step at a time. You don't want to do all of it at once. You want to just break it down into chunks, take it one step at a time, and focus on one thing at a time. Okay, you just want to, so for that ebook example, all you're going to focus on is those first 5 pages. It doesn't matter about all the other chapters. It doesn't matter about anything else. The only thing that you're focusing on are those first 5 pages. Okay, so let's move on. Build awesome systems. Okay, so we've talked about systems again, but if you want to get more work done, easily, then build systems. Systems work, and they will make you a lot of money. You always want to look to improve your systems, and systems allow you to get things done very, very quickly. Okay, so we talked about that ebook method. If you had systems for writing an ebook, maybe you already had a structure that you followed, exactly how many chapters are going to be in it, how many pages per chapter, what each chapter is going to be about. You have your basic core structure that you could follow that makes it even easier instead of sitting down there and thinking, okay, so what is this ebook going to be about? If you had like a system that said, okay, so the first a few chapters are about, what is this particular thing, then it's about the methods that you can use, and it's about the problems, and it's about how to overcome them, and it's about how to, scale them up or something like that. But create actual systems for the things that you create, and basically for every bit of work that you do, and it will become much more easier. So just imagine that you had a system, right, for your ebook, and then you applied the method that we just talked about. So just say you knew that your first chapter on every ebook you take, that every ebook that you create is going to be, let's just say, it's going to be about who, what, where, and how. For example, I'm just sort of making this up at the top of my head, but so the first chapter is going to explain what it is. It's going to explain who it's going to benefit. It's going to explain how to actually do it, and it's going to explain why someone would want to do it. Okay, so that's what the first chapter is always going to be about on every ebook that you create. So you already know that, right? So then you also know how many pages per chapter. So you can look at the first chapter and say, okay, so what I need to include is, why, what is it, and who is going to benefit, and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm going to have, I know exactly how many pages. So now all I need to do is get this information. Okay, so then you can break it down even further. So you can say, okay, so what is it? Well, it's article marketing. Who's it going to benefit? It's going to benefit internet marketers. Why? Because it generates traffic. So then you can already have, it's kind of getting as much of it done before actually starting, so to speak. So you already have the whole structure there. So all you really need to do is plug in the information, but you know exactly what kind of information. That is much more effective than sitting there and saying, okay, I'm going to write an ebook about article marketing. What should the first chapter be about? You know what I mean? So you can have structures and systems for each chapter of the ebook, and it just makes things go so much quicker. And then you apply the system of just working, in short bursts of time, so you can knock out the first chapter really, really quickly when you already know what it is that you need to include. So if you don't already know that and you do work in short bursts, the first part is going to be, okay, so what am I actually going to include in this? So you're still going to be working flat out, but you're going to have to do more work. So the systems are all about creating less work for yourself. Okay, it's such a profound business model that you definitely want to implement it in your system. In your business, and these systems will make you a lot of money. Okay, you want to remove resistance now. Not just negativity and distractions. You want to remove what's actually holding you back or slowing you down. So this could be things like not having the right software. Maybe you have, a slow internet connection. Maybe you have an old computer. Maybe you have a slow computer. Things like that. Maybe you just don't have. Maybe you don't have. I don't know, the right hardware. Maybe you don't have. Like a webcam or something like that. Write down everything that is causing you resistance, everything that's causing you to slow down and not get things done. Then work on eliminating them. So, obviously if it's things that you need to buy for, if you can't afford it, work towards affording it. Say, put some money aside for like a new computer or something like that, or put some money aside to upgrade your internet connection. But, become aware of what is actually slowing you down and what's causing you resistance, and then you can work on eliminating it. Okay, so let's talk about using the 80-20 rule. Knowing your business inside and out is absolutely crucial. Okay, so you want to know what areas are performing the best for you and focus more on those areas. So you want to know what systems are really working well for you. Okay, so you create these systems, and then you can find out which ones are really, being really, really effective and productive for you. What traffic sources are really working for you. The 80-20 rule is basically, 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. So you need to identify what 20% of your efforts are actually producing 80% of your results, and then you want to do more on that 20%. Okay, so it's really, really key that you know your business, that you monitor your business, and then you track what's happening. So again, with like another example is affiliates. What affiliates are making the most sales? And this is really true. The majority of affiliates that you have, the majority that make the most sales, there's only going to be really about 20% of them. The most won't even make any sales. So you definitely need to know and utilize the 80-20 rule in your business, because it will really, really help your business. So let's review. Incremental progress is key to long-term success. Set small goals, slowly improve, and eventually you'll hit your big main target. You need to manage your time wisely. Time is such an important asset. You need to manage it wisely. So many people misuse their time and mismanage their time. But when you manage it wisely, you can get so much done. You can you become so productive, and you make a lot more money. Work in short blocks. So we talk about that. Set up blocks for your time where you will just purely work 100% distraction free, and you'll get more things done. Create awesome systems. Create systems and then combine it with the working in short blocks, and you will become a super productive machine. Remove any resistance. Okay, so you need to become aware of what is causing your resistance in the first place, and then you can work on removing it. So things like slow internet connections. It's not just negativity and distractions. It can be that too, but also consider things like slow internet connections, slow PCs, and things like that. And finally, we talked about using the 80-20 rule, how 20% of your efforts are going to generate 80% of your results. So become aware of them, monitor them, and obviously work on improving the percent that's getting you the most results.